Thank you. Thank you. Oh man, they're really into it today. I mean, it sounds like they're even more into it than usual. But hello, and this is the third episode of TrendChat. I'm your host, Brian Bledsoe. If you want to catch me on Twitter, I am at _BL_Bledsoe, BLEDSOE. If you want to catch up with the show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also YouTube, I've been forgetting about that one. It's all the same name, TrendChat 24/7. And also write occasionally. I write for a website called Politichicks. And if you want to read some of my articles, you can go to politichicks.com/author/Brian Bledsoe. So tonight we're broadcasting on Spreaker as always, and also we are in Dallas, Texas. And just want to talk tonight about #Day Without Immigrants. Today was a protest where I basically will say illegal immigrants, even though they want to say just immigrants, but basically this is about illegal immigrants. And so they basically want to have this protest basically against the Trump administration for whether it was statements that was said during the campaign or maybe just the travel ban that's been all the rage the past week or so. And so this, I don't know the group in particular, but a lot of people are getting behind it. You have entertainers, politicians, obviously, getting into it. And like I said before, basically this is about illegal immigration, really. And most of you probably haven't heard my analogy that I tend to make about that. And I want to put that out there right now. But before I do, I want to talk about a group of people who are putting together a great website. It hasn't launched yet, but right now they're on Facebook, and I'm talking about a group called The Founding Project. And talking about immigrants, but this time talking about legal immigrants, is that, did you know that 10% of citizens right now cannot pass the test that legal immigrants have to take to become citizens of this country? And this group, the Founding Project, is out to educate more people in just basic civics, just the founding of the country, and just learning more about the Constitution in general, just to be a more educated citizen. And so right now they're on Facebook. If you search The Founding Project, you should find them there. Like I said, they're putting together a website right now, and once that comes available, I will definitely put it out on here. I just want to give them a shout out before I get into this legal immigration thing. So when it comes to illegal immigration, the analogy I tend to make is that, and it's pretty simple because everyone knows what it is to live in a house. It's four walls. You're inside a building or anything like that. Everyone understands that, and it's the same sort of analogy that we have going on here in our country now. Because in your house, you go in, you lock your door, and when you lock your door or just close your door, when you're doing that, you're not saying that I hate everyone outside. That's not what you're saying. You are protecting yourself and your family inside. That's why you are locking the door. So that's one thing I don't really understand as far as that little simple concept, as far as when we're talking about the country, as far as wanting to have secure borders. It's not about hating everyone outside. It's about protecting the citizens inside. And so, just to keep from, I guess, anyone that looks to do harm in your house, someone outside that might want to do harm to you, want to come in, you want to try to keep them out at least as much as possible by locking the door. I mean, you might have a policy where you say like, well, okay, everyone's welcome. Okay, that's great. But even in that sense, you want to know who they are, and once they know who you are, and they come through the front door, you just tell them to follow the rules of the house, however little they may be. And if you have someone you don't want to come in, just maybe because you suspect that they may do harm to you or everyone else in the house, then you don't let them in. You don't have to let them in, because no one has a right to come in your place just because they want to. And then, like, if you have people sneaking in your place without your permission, like in the middle of the night, just coming in the back door. I mean, they could be like the nicest people you ever met, but you still have some suspicion, because why did you come through the back door without my permission when you could have just came through the front door? You're already kind of sowing the seeds of suspicion in the owner of the house. And then if you actually will say, okay, well, you have to be penalized for sneaking in the back door. You have to maybe either pay a penalty or have to go, or maybe have to leave and come out the front door. All of a sudden, the people who have snuck in your house all of a sudden feel like they have a right to your house, and then want to call you all sorts of hateful names for enforcing the rules of your house. And then you have people who not only are sneaking in, but then proceed to violate all other rules in your house. And then when you have a problem with them and try to kick them out, then they have a problem too about enforcing the rules of your house. And so that's the analogy I tend to make, is that everyone understands how you run your household, and most of these people who are advocating illegal immigration or go home, some of these entertainers and politicians are going home to nice fancy walls and brick walls and picket fences and 24/7 security. But most people don't live like that. Some of the people who are advocating for are living just like everyone else in just their own house. And when they're at home, they're vetting everyone that comes to their door. Someone that knocks on the door, you look through the peephole or you look out your window, you see if you want them to come in or not. If you don't, you don't. And if so, they come in. That's basically all that's what we're trying to do as a country now. And not just now, but in the past. And so when you're hearing people who are advocating for illegal immigration, I just find it so confusing, because it's pretty simple in wanting to secure your borders to protect the citizens of any nation, not just here, any nation. And so, like this morning, I posted something on Twitter basically saying, great job, people, with the hashtag Day Without Immigrants. Because if you're here legally, like I said before, this is kind of pointless, because you're here legally. So this really, none of what's going on has anything to do with people who are here legally. It's the people who are here illegally that are the ones that should be worried, and rightfully so. But now the ones who are here illegally, if you're participating in this Day Without Immigrants, then you're basically you're shining a light to everyone that, okay, here is the job I am taking away illegally, because I'm here illegally, from people who want a job that are here legally. Just, citizens in general. You're just showing that to everyone. Hey, I got your job because I didn't come to work today. So you see right there, you could be working here, but I'm here illegally and I'm taking your job. So that's what I posted today. Obviously, it was less than that because it had to be 140 characters. So, but if you go to my Twitter page, BL_Bledsoe, once again, you'll see that. And so that's the analogy that I make all the time when it comes to illegal immigration. And it just really is it just kind of blows my mind how easy it is to, I mean, 'cause a lot of these things are pretty easy to recognize. The reason why a lot of this becomes muddled is because you have people who are doing things like this that want to call it about immigrants, but when it's about illegal immigrants. And the media does a great job in pushing that narrative. And they want to keep saying that, Trump or Republicans or conservatives, they just hate immigrants. And they keep pounding that into everyone's head a million times a day, whether through social media or just through just regular old news. And I ain't going to and it basically this is like fake news in itself, really, because a day without immigrants, that is very misleading. I would just say that's fake. It's a day without illegal immigrants, and all of this that is going on is about illegal immigration, and more people need to know that, and more need to just shine their light and to keep making that point. And so that's all I have on that. Now, the next couple of minutes, I guess I'll get into what was trending on sports media today. Was basically about Draymond Green, who is a player for the Golden State Warriors. Really good team. And he was on his podcast, and he was talking about the incident that happened with Charles Oakley, former player of the New York Knicks, and he had an incident in Madison Square Garden where he was taken out of the building because the owner doesn't like him, and I guess he doesn't like him, and he came to the arena, and their owner told him, the security, to get him out, and he didn't want to go, and then the whole melee happened. And anyway, that whole situation happened. Then now you had someone like Draymond go on his podcast and talking about that, and basically called the owner of the New York Knicks having a slave master mentality. Kind of just inferring about slavery, and I'm guessing he pretty much probably call him a racist. And I really ain't got much to say about this. One, because it's almost the end of the show, but also because this whole thing is nonsense anyway. Every time someone just has any sort of disagreement, whether they are a rich white guy, and a black guy on the other side, someone just want to call it racism, and then he want to go in and take it even a step further and call it something about slavery. And it's nonsense. For the simple fact, and here's another thing that's just simple, is no comparison of slavery for two reasons. One, it's voluntary. They voluntarily went into the NBA. They voluntarily went in to sign a contract. And also, another thing, they are paid millions of dollars. Paid handsomely. None of this is like slavery. Yes, slaves were not paid, and they didn't voluntarily jump on the boat to come over here. So, to make this as slavery, there is no connection. It's just someone using hyperbolic language just so he can get on media, and basically be a topic on here right now. But right now, that's all I have to say on it, because we're coming on the last 20 seconds, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been listening. My name is Brian Bledsoe. Like I said, you can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TrendChat 24/7. My Twitter, BL_Bledsoe. And until Tuesday, I'll also be on Twitter and Periscope. But until Tuesday, we'll chat with you later.